So we're going to start this morning a brand new series called Flow. And as we start that, we're kind of thinking through, have you ever been in a huge rainstorm? I mean, just like gushing down, flowing rainstorm. I remember when I was in Colorado one summer, I think it rains harder in Colorado than anywhere else in the world for some reason. But when I was in Colorado, we went hiking. And man, we were up close to the top of that mountain. This major rainstorm came, and it just came down so fast and furious. It was like we were in a vertical stream or river of this water coming down. And it just completely covered us. It was the most miserable experience of my life. But I'll never forget, I've never ever been in a situation where water flowed down so quickly and just completely got me wet. And this morning, as we think through this idea, we're going to be talking about one concept for 4 weeks because we think it's so critical and important here. Our mission here at Intersect Church is we exist to lead people into transformative relationships with God and others. And so this morning, we're really focusing on a transformative relationship with God. And so we're talking about this concept. And it's a concept that if you understand this and if I understand this, it just opens up a world of understanding about who God is. This concept can turn a heart completely upside down from thinking that it's about performance, thinking it's about doing, thinking it's about having to keep some sort of rules and regulations, to completely radically changed and turned upside down, to be now where it's about a relationship. Now it's about love. Now it's about acceptance. And this is a concept that if we then extend that into relationships with other people, it can be transformative in our marriages, in our work relationships, and our friendships. It's a phenomenal concept. And it's something that we should drink in. It is something that we should allow to get us completely drenched, but not on the outside, on the inside in our souls. Because the concept that I'm talking about this morning is grace. And grace is offered and it flows down from God, just like that rainstorm, in phenomenal, transformative ways. And so for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be looking basically at Romans. It's one of the about the 6th book in the New Testament. If you're new to a Bible, I'm just going to invite you to turn it to Romans. Right in the Old Testament is the old part of the Bible, first written, and then the New Testament is toward the back of the Bible, right? And so you go Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, and we're going to be looking at the 5th chapter of Romans. We're actually going to start on in Romans chapter 3 and then move to chapter 5. But for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be looking at Romans 5, 6, 7, and 8 at this phenomenal thing called grace. Now, it's interesting because we have that old hymn that all of us probably have heard if you've been in any religious context. It's Amazing Grace, right? And I've heard somebody say that grace starts out, and when you first come to understand what grace truly means, it's amazing. And then over the years, it becomes intriguing. And then over the years more, it becomes interesting. And then it becomes just grace. And I hope this morning that if you're here this morning and you're contemplating what it means to have a personal relationship with Jesus and you're trying to understand this whole Christianity thing, I hope that grace totally gets into your soul and you get it. If you're here and you've had a relationship with God for a long time, you've been going to church since you were a kid, and you're trying to really kind of think about a new start with God, man, I hope this revolutionizes your heart and your mind. But I just ask you to open your mind up to really recognizing for the first time or re-engaging in this idea of amazing grace this morning as we begin.